Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse. Today I want to talk a little bit about the difference between mouth breathing and nasal breathing. And this is how it applies to any kind of breath work you may be doing, but also how it applies just to your daily life. There's a trend going around the internet you may have seen where people will tape their mouths shut to make sure that they're not mouth breathing. I can't really do that. It would really hurt when I took it off, and you don't see a lot of, I haven't seen any bearded guys doing it. So anyway, but I wouldn't do it anyway, just because I can actually keep my mouth shut, despite what some of my friends might say. But at the end of the day, what is the difference between mouth breathing and nasal breathing? Now, first of all, I want to introduce you to yourself. The autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system, it governs pretty much all of the functions in our body, and it's constantly on. It's constantly between the state of fight or flight, or the other state, which is rest and digest, often known as, when we talk about fight or flight, a lot of times we're talking about what we call the sympathetic dominant system. And when we talk about rest and digest, we're often talking about what we call the parasympathetic dominant system. And these two systems are really both very useful in certain times. They both have really important roles in our lives. For instance, obviously the fight or flight, hence the name. There are some times when we need to defend ourselves, or when we need to get away from some kind of a dangerous situation. That sympathetic dominant system that makes us ready to get into the gym, really ready to get competitive and physically active. On the other hand of that, there's also that parasympathetic dominant system, that rest and digest system, that recuperative system, that side of our lives that we have to have in order to heal and recover from all these other instances in life. And what we've found scientifically, and this is what breath workers use all the time, is that there are different signals that we can send our autonomic nervous system. And that is through using breath. And that's the difference between breathing in through our nostrils versus breathing in through our mouth. There are neuroreceptors within our nostrils and in parts of our lungs that tell us which one of those states we are in. And it just so happens to be that when we're breathing through our mouth, we are telling our autonomic nervous system, okay, it's time to get that adrenaline. It's time to get into that fight or flight mode. When we breathe in through our nose, we're more likely to stay in that state of rest and digest. And this is why you see so many people trying their best to stop that mouth breathing that is so easy to fall into, that over breathing. Because when we're in that fight or flight dominant state, and you've probably seen a person about to get into a fight, and they're they're starting to, okay, man, they're really starting to breathe. Especially think about whenever you're nervous or whenever you've gotten scared, that automatically starts to happen. And also think about whenever you're sleeping or whenever you're really in a restful state. Generally, it's the opposite. And we can use the breath to send signals to our autonomic nervous system that will say, okay, we are safe. We are in a place where we can rest and digest. Or, hey, man, we need to get really active. We need to get the adrenaline pumping. We need to really become fight or flight. So when you do breath work, or just in your everyday breathing, try to keep this in mind. Are you breathing through your nose, or are you breathing through your mouth? Mouth breathers tend to stay in a heightened state of, there's bugs. Anyway, there's another bug. I don't know, maybe might have to edit that out. Maybe I'll leave it in. That was a big bee. I suddenly flew into fight or flight. You should have seen the bee. It was huge. Anyway, mouth breathers are constantly in this state of fight or flight, at least in a mild state of fight or flight. And that's telling us, even if we aren't really consciously aware of it, it's telling us that we are not safe, and that it inhibits that side of ourselves that's responsible for resting and digesting. And it can cause your heart rate to be fast, and cause high blood pressure, and cause all kinds of issues with your immune system, simply because you're over breathing. What we've also found is by slowing the breathing down, breathing through your nose, you're telling your body it's okay to rest and relax, and to just recuperate and to heal. Let those blood vessels open up a little bit to allow ourselves to not have all the hormones and the chemicals that we naturally have when we're in that state of fight or flight, which are very helpful in that state of fight or flight, but are not so helpful when we're trying to rest and digest. In fact, when you're in a state of fight or flight, your digestion, the whole digestive tract, blood circulation is shunted away from that part, and it goes to your skeletal muscle. So you're ready to fight, you're really ready to fight. We don't want that to happen when we're trying to feed ourselves food to nourish our bodies. So my message to you today is to try to start breathing through your nose. And remember that is going to keep you in a state of rest and relaxation more so than breathing through your mouth. Guys, I hope this helps, and I hope you can incorporate this into your daily life, into your breathing routines. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to go out there and be nice to people. Oh yeah. Okay. Pretty sweet snow angel.